Good afternoon, evening, morning, or whenever you're watching this. I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of an overview of something that I've previously upgraded quite significantly. You've probably seen a video if you're looking around at Proton packs for the Epic Props Proton pack. That video was done by myself. This one here is the exact same Proton pack. It's been back to Russ at Epic Props for a little while so that it could have a little bit of work done, and it's significantly improved. Don't get me wrong, before, if you watched the previous video, it was a hell of a piece of kit, and I'm still incredibly impressed with the workmanship, the quality of the parts and everything else that is used in it. But it's had a little bit of an electronics overhaul. So you're probably aware that since I last did the video, there's been a release of the HasLab, the Hasbro Proton pack, and on the back of that there's been quite a lot of fervour around a lot of the upgrades and opportunities that that has presented. One of those things is the Ninja Tunes kit, and also the Fruto Technologies and GP Star technology kits that could go into it. Now, the downside from me as a long-time Proton pack owner is that I prefer the non-plasticky original casting Proton packs. I've had a couple of them in the past. I've had a Ben of Kent. I've had this one as well, which is the Epic Props one. But I'm not going to lie, an absolute swarm of jealousy has been felt when the kits for the Hasbro packs came out, that I wanted that kind of functionality within the Epic Props pack. So here it is. What you're looking at now is one of the original casting Epic Props Proton packs, but this one has a GP Star kit built into it. I've just recently updated it to the latest firmware, so it's got all of its functionality in from the latest movie, Frozen Empire, but all the stuff on the previous video still applies to it, with a few cosmetic changes. So I'll run through the cosmetic changes first. So you've got the Epic Props Proton Pack shell, which is made from fiberglass. It's incredibly sturdy. I'm really pleased with the presentation on that. The finish on it is really nice. It's got a bit of a rough feel to it. It's got a texturing on the surface which is hard to spot, except in certain circumstances. So it's important to note that that's there. I've also had the buffer panel replaced, so I've got a new bump stop on the end of it, and a new ribbon cable as well. So I've got for a GB1 ribbon cable, which again was supplied by Epic Props. I've added a few touches myself, so it's now covered in hazard stripes, very reminiscent of Frozen Empire, but I haven't yet received my Epic Props yellow bumper, but I've added quite a lot of features and functions to myself, just to make it my own a little bit. So some new labels, which have been available from various different Etsy stores. I've also got one on the attenuator, which I had fitted, which is there. It's a very nice piece. I'll come back to the attenuator and its functionality relatively soon. But cosmetically, it's had a few touches, a few upgrades. So the main features then are electronic. So if I power this one up with the latest firmware update, got a big power switch on the back. Goes to a startup sequence, and then what you're looking at now is the old girl ready to go, with all new guts. So if I power this up, I've got many different ways of powering it up, from the attenuator through to a power switch that's just under here. really can't tell you how loud that is, so I'm going to have to turn it down so you can actually hear me over the roar of it. But that's a little different from the previous, as you can probably appreciate. And then what I'll do is I'll power that down. Genuinely never gets old. So what I'll do now is I'll do the secondary power up, which is via the activate switch on the wand, which is down here. And that's a slightly different sound sequence because now the wand is on. So as with, if you can even hear me over that, as with Afterlife, you can then do the startup sequence and that changes the pitch of the power up sounds. Power. Light sequence of speed. So I'll just power that down for a second so I can show you a little bit more detail about what it just did. Okay, so what I've done now is I've set it up to run the overheat sequence. So I'll run the overheat sequence now for you to have a look. The point of focus here is the end filter, which is down at the bottom, and the red lights, which are going to change the sequence. It should be going through a faster loop, and then eventually it will power itself out. So if I power up, and then run the overheat sequence by overheating the wand. I'm sure you can agree is incredibly impressive. So if I power that back down, and what you're looking at there is basically just one mode of it. So if I just pump it up a little bit, and then I can change the modes. So if I switch this switch here,
1989.
It's now in 1989, which is Ghostbusters 2. If I switch this switch again,
Frozen Empire.
It's now in Frozen Empire mode. So one of the nice new features is that the light sequences match Frozen Empire. So if I power that up again, so it's now in Frozen Empire mode. So the red light sequence is different. The sound effects are different. I've turned it down so you can actually hear me speaking, but obviously I can turn that right back up again. And the blue light sequence is now correct, so it powers up to the top and pauses, which is correct to Frozen Empire. That's different from some of the other movie sequences. So I thought that was really, really smart. That's the light sequences do change. So if I power that back down again, and then put it into 84.
1984.
Then it should have the traditional light sequence. So traditional sound effects, traditional light sequence, and again, totally different on the power cell as well, which is nice. Very nice, in fact. So I thoroughly appreciate that as a fan. The wand sounds obviously change as well. So if I power that up, I've now got 84 sounds on the wand. Super bright LEDs. Thank you, Epic Props. And then the power sequence for firing the wand obviously remains the same. You get the idea. Right, so if I just step that back to there and then power it down. Okay, so just make sure everything's switched off. There we go. Other stuff, so if I switch the modes back to Afterlife, which is my preferred mode, if I stick it with that for a moment, then I'm just going to show you a couple of the other features that Russ at Epic Props has built into it. So it will require powering it back up. Right, she's on, she's wearing, and what he's done for me is one of the features that is built into the HasLab packs that's not built into these some of the custom built packs is that if you remove the ribbon cable on the Hasbro packs, then what happens next is you get a sequence akin to this. Like a fault sequence. So I'm just going to flip it back over. And she's back, which is nice. So I haven't lost any of that functionality, and it's the same in the other modes, except the sound effects are different. So in 84 mode it's the same as the containment unit breach. Other than that, that's the pack itself. Okay, so the last feature I'm going to run through today is the GP Star attenuator, which I've got attached to my left hand strap here. Switch the lights on it by a switch on the left, and the middle switch goes up the pack. The dial here allows you to adjust the volume remotely if you're wearing a convention. I'm just going to shut it down again. So that's another mode of control. Now the ultimate mode of control, what it allows you to do is it allows you to link to your attenuator via a web interface, a web UI. So I can control the pack and switch it on using an app. It also allows me to control music and all the other functionalities, cause it to vent, overheat, whatever, control its volumes, play music, check its status, battery outputs, and change any of the settings on the fly without having to reach any of the crazy switches that are well out of reach, obviously, on my back. So what this allows you to do is pretty much have total control of it from your mobile phone, which is much more likely to be in your pocket. This is one of the best features, to be honest, especially if you're going to go to an event. The odds of you being able to control your pack whilst it's on your back, if you've not got a friend to help you with it, is virtually zero. Whereas with this, you can pretty much control everything and all the features that are built into it that are specific to either the attenuator, the Proton pack itself, the neutrino wand, or any of the overheat or smoke settings if you've got a venting kit in there. Absolutely outstanding, and like I said, you can do that on the fly. So what I will do now is I'll just do one last power up and power off, just to show you how that works. Just a green button for on. Cheers. Beautiful. And off by the red button there. Final thing is by changing the settings on the fly, what this allows you to do is it allows you to change the theme, so you can switch between Afterlife, Frozen Empire 89 or any custom modes that you've got pretty much on the go. You can change everything from the colours of the lights to the light sequences and whatever, all via this app, which is incredible. So that's it. This is now my fully upgraded Epic Props Proton pack. The shell has a great vintage, and it's the best of all worlds. I don't work for Epic Props, but I am a huge fan of the work that Russ in the workshop has done on this particular model. It's incredible. But going forwards, I know that they're going through a big period of expansion, and I welcome whatever comes next. I've just put in an order for the Frozen Empire yellow bumper, so I'm hoping that that's going to come in the near future, and I will update when that comes in. But for now, this is the first time that I've ever seen a GP Star kit inside a fiberglass Proton pack shell. So there it is. I'll be happy to take any questions, but any complex questions regarding any of the electronics or build should actually be directed to Epic Props, because they are the key holders on this particular design, and I'm not even going to exaggerate when I say that it is absolutely incredible. So great thanks to Epic Props for the production and the legwork in getting it sorted.